Mandy from Hong Kong. Yoga practitioner, more than 5 years. Teaching experience, more than 2 years. Completed yoga teacher training course from Manushi Institute of Yoga, affiliated with IAYT. Interested in yoga, from ancient scriptures as well as scientifically.
Mandy, Health Warriors of Yoga Therapy. We are proud of your yogic services.
Hello. Can you see my screen?
It's visible, visible, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you for inviting me. I'm sharing my presentation over in Hong Kong. And good afternoon to all of you. Today, my presentation is about yoga therapy for emotional freedom and mastering the mind. So I'm pretty sure when we look in the nature, when we see the tree, it's flourishes with leaves and flowers. And the key part is how the nutrients is absorbed by the roots. And what kind of nutrients to give to the tree, it's affected how the tree is going to shows up. And similarly, like the last speaker has said, everything is about the state of mind. And yes, this is invisible. And similarly, we have a hidden process of thoughts, and the thoughts that generates the emotions and which give us feelings. And we so often make choices of actions based on our feelings. And these choices of actions resulting is pretty much how our life shows up to us. So our mind is actually like the root. Is there a lot of nerves is inside our brain, and actually this software is our mind. This is acts like a root, and the mind is responsible to create the thoughts. So the nutrient is a good one or toxic. It's really depending whether it is a positive thought or a negative thought. A prolonged negative mind generates sadness, stress, anxiety, and this leads to our body fatigue, tired, lack of motivation, or sickness in the body, which I refer to the last speaker. That could be a sign of depression. So it is very, very surprised to see this figure, and medical research suggests that as high as 90% of illnesses and disease is stress related. So for example, HPP, cardiovascular disease, heart disease, and obesity have been a link to the stress factor. So, and how bad is the situation in our modern life? The recent study shows that more people felt stressed, sad, angry, and worried in 2020. Nearly 100 million people experience significantly higher stress. So I'm pretty sure that the pandemic is the reason, but the study shows the pandemic is not the only reason, but it's a major factor because in our modern life, we have so many things. We have to juggle with so many personal, family, social duties that we hardly have a time to wind down. And we hardly have a time to bring the attention from the external drama to the internal. So therefore, the mind is always cluttered with negativity. So according to the National Science Foundation, an average person has 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts a day, which is very a lot, really a lot, and we hardly notice that. Of which that 80% are negative thoughts. So these figures is really so significant This says a lot why so many people feel imbalanced and suffering from stress-related disease. So theoretically, if we balance out more positive thoughts, life could go back to the happier side of the scale. So we know positivity is the key to our well-being. What actually stops us from thinking positively? So one day we may feel positive and calm, yet when things pops up, the positive feelings doesn't last very long, and you keep telling yourself to be positive, yet more fear or even complaints come to the mind. So similar to the tree, how the leaves shows up is depending on the root. The root cause of the suffering from negativity is our mind. So to treat the hidden invisible root, we use our visible body as a tool because it's a sign to show us there's something wrong. And this is the space where yoga therapy comes to help boosting the mental health. By being healthy is a big concern in all lifetime of human existence. It is not only of sickness to get healthy, but as the Sanskrit word swastha, it suggests, it connotes to a meaning of to develop self. So being healthy is to develop the self, and the self that is invisible, that is from within, that is the state of balance from an inner you, and that inner you is totally can be controlled by you. We feel lost control. It is because of the mind, and it is because of the nature of the mind. It's like a monkey. One thought links to another. It's continuous, and if we can manage the mind, we gain our inner control. And these come to my first point, takeaway point to share, that yoga therapy focuses on bringing the balance in life. And often, if we have ailments, we have sickness, it is due to off balance. So apart from the asana postures that you can help stimulating and regulating the nervous system, the enzyme, the chemical for the part of the brain that are responsible to generate emotional signals. Yoga therapy is a therapy that treats the root, not about just the sickness. It is not a sick care, but it is to treat the root. Yoga therapy is the ultimate therapy for our modern life sickness, to treat the root, which is the mind. So this is my second takeaway point to share. And how to do it in yoga therapy, I'm pretty sure all you experience, we bring our awareness inwards. The practice helps us to realizing the jumping mind that can be tamed. It is to follow the practice, to go inwards, to break the chain of thoughts. So other fact that we also need to realize, we have a lot of chain of thought, yes, and the pattern. The pattern, it's mostly in the past and in the future. And our body is always now, but where is our mind? So this is the pattern of our thoughts. We always stringing back and forth. And by practicing regularly, we focus on the breath to drive our awareness to the present moment of breathing in and out. The yoga therapy really helps bringing focus at the present moment. So this is the third takeaway point I want to share, that you will be so surprised that actually it's our own nature to be in the presence. So by practice, be present regularly, we become more conscious. So more mind space. So what's good about more mind space? Then we become more calmer, and we become more calm and more likely to create positive thoughts. So this is the fourth takeaway point to share. When we are more calmer, when we encounter annoying things or people around us, we are likely to take the control from our regular autopilot response to a more conscious reactions. So in time, you will be gradually reduce those pile up stress. So we have to face it that up to 90% of disease is stress related. So instead of trying to control the external, what to happen or what not to happen to us in life, it is purely mind related. The